What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we are now on day 3 of my mass gaining playlist. This is the most highly anticipated out of the 3. We're doing chest in this video. So we're going to start out with a walkthrough on the bench press and then go through the rest of the workout. Alright, so starting out on the bench press, you will see me putting on my wrist wraps. I talked about these in a couple videos prior to this. I love the support that wrist wraps provide in a bench press, especially a flat bench press. You'll see me grab onto the rack there to kind of stabilize myself. I really like setting up this way. It's a nice way to get centered on the traps and make sure that your lats are engaged before you press. When I unrack the bar, I often get myself into this deep arch. I don't ever press like that, but it's a nice way to unrack if you don't have a spot. And then my feet are always firmly planted and my core is engaged. It's important to remember that this is a compound lift, so your whole body needs to be engaged. I'm going to switch to a shot of me doing a floor press here just so you can see the angle on my elbows. I'm usually right around 40 degrees, maybe 45, but it is important not to be flaring your elbows out too far or keeping them too close to your torso. Just right in the middle there is perfect. Similar to what I said in my squat video, I like to do a lot of different variations on the major compound lift. So back to the floor press here. I really like floor press. Go a little bit lighter and really focus on the way that that back is engaged. When you're laying on the floor, it's a lot better than when you're laying on a bench as far as making sure that your traps are squeezed, your lats are squeezed, and your scapula are doing what you want them to be doing when you're pressing. And it's also a nice way to practice just the middle of that rep range. You're not going too deep. It's a nice way to learn how to explode properly in the bench press. Another variation that I like to employ is an incline barbell press. I wouldn't normally do this on the same day as a flat barbell press, but it's a nice way to train the upper chest. And then this variation is similar to what I did in my squat video. I'm hitting 275 here. My max is about 252, so I know I can't get this back up, but it's a nice way to train for progressive overload. All right, so moving into some of the accessory movements in the rest of the workout. Normally I flip-flop between pressing motions and fly motions. This is a nice upper chest machine. I usually go really light on these guys as well. You can see that my hands are pretty darn close together. They could be a little wider than that, but I like to keep them close. It's a nice way to train that upper middle chest. You'll also note on a lot of these exercises how I'm varying the way that I press. I won't go all the way up sometimes. I'll stop about halfway or 3/4 of the way just to keep the muscle as engaged as possible. This is a really nice variation for cable flies. I'll take any free rolling bench and just put it in between the cable machine, and that way I can change the angle as much as I want and the height as much as I want. It's a really nice way to engage the entire chest. You'll also notice my hands kind of changing position. I'm going from really low right over my stomach to all the way up over my face. It's a nice way to hit every fiber of the chest. Here I have a shot of me, just for the sake of example, hitting a dumbbell press. I decided to hit 100s this day. I would never ever normally go this heavy, so you can see I'm struggling a lot, but I do often employ an inclined dumbbell press. All right, so a few things about the Pec Deck Fly. Firstly, you'll see me putting the seat all the way to the bottom. I always like to try and target the upper chest on this one. And then one more thing is that back arch that you see right there. Very important to keep the low back off of the seat and keep all of your weight on the traps, just like you would in a bench press. That way you're making the pecs do all the work. Another way to make your pecs do all the work is to make sure that your shoulders stay back and that you're not using your front delt to pull the machine forward, but you're forcing the pec to do it. You'll also notice my hands are open. It's a nice way to keep the forearms and the biceps out of the motion and make the pec do all of the work. Thank you all again for watching the video, and as always, if you have any questions, please hop down into the comments. I'd love to meet you down there and answer any questions you might have. And of course, I will see you again next Friday.